Everybody, Steve Olson, WSO. Hope you're having a good day. This footage, Weather Channel footage, comes from Mongolia. What's interesting about Mongolia, guys, is there is no WSO videos playing in Mongolia. We're blocked out of Mongolia. And China itself is shut down as well. I got one view from China in the last month or something like that. So this is a closed off area. So the fact that we're getting footage from Mongolia is interesting. But look at this footage. Check it out. The next thing I'm going to show you is going to blow your mind. So hang on. Okay? Watch this. Interesting that they made that connection between being on your best behavior and seeing something in the sky, all right? Bizarre, right? A lot of people talk about looking at the stuff up in the sky and feeling like something's watching them back. Does anybody else have that feeling at all? Yeah? Yeah, I've been struggling, guys. Listen, not struggling in the way of like giving up or, you know, any of that kind of stuff, but just it's been a struggle to get through these truths that we've been talking about lately, guys. And it all came in relation to our discovery of Nibiru. But what does it open up? What does this all open up? It opens up a great questioning of the realities we've been taught. Let me give you an example right here. For example, we can't even see this stuff because we're so blind sometimes. But the only time that you see this kind of a cloud usually, and Derek Abrose pointed this out to me the other day as a pilot, is when there's a large, massive object that's tall enough to create a pressure differential which creates the cloud, right? We've seen these before. Then why are we seeing these clouds up in the middle of the sky with no object that we can see, yet it's the same signature we get, right? The same signature that we get right there in the sky in the clouds. Could it be because objects are up there? The world is not what we think it is anymore, at least not with me. Check this out. This is more footage of red skies and strange red rainbows around the world, okay? This is happening everywhere, all right? And again, not to cause fear, not to fear porn, but to be aware of the time and the age in which you live. Here's a picture from Russia. Now, the reason this is interesting is because the red dot on the horizon. I'm pretty sure that could be Mars. But even if it is Mars, Naughty was pointing out yesterday that scientists are saying that we're able to see Mars now in the daylight. Its luminosity is so great. And if you've been seeing Mars at nighttime, you've been noticing that it's a lot brighter and more luminescent. Well, we know there's a global sandstorm happening on Mars right now, right? Check out this bloom sky picture. Seeing these orbs everywhere we look now. Now, God, I hope this isn't what I think it is, but this is Syria, okay? I think it's in Damascus. Hopefully this isn't the blood of people, but I'll tell you, this is sent to me as rain, red rain. Again, starting to see the red rain all over the world. We just saw this in Russia, right? This is just a short little ditty, little picture of somebody taking pictures of Mars, and then look what happens. Something starts flashing out there. Again, picture after picture. Now, we haven't talked about this one much except with Eric yesterday, but this is the kind of thing that I've been looking for, right? This is our sun, and this is something coming up over the top of it. And we've been seeing this again and again, but this is the most striking or sobering, look at that object. Is that not amazing what we're seeing right now? Hey, we live in exciting times. There's no doubt about it, right? We're seeing this kind of thing, and then we're seeing these faces up in the clouds all the time. And I don't know what to tell you about this, guys. I still am trying to figure out why we're seeing faces in the clouds. No fear, only love. But just listen, things are weird. Things are strange. This comes from this little picture right here comes from a Family Guy episode, okay? And they were launched into space for some reason. Why are they showing this stuff in space on a cartoon? Right? Now check this one out. I've got so many mind blowers today, guys. This is just what happens to me if I have to take a day where I'm not looking at all my emails. This is what happens to me. This is the kind of stuff that gets built up. But this is from May 1st. Check out this. Yeah? That's an electronic voltage, basically looking at electronic. I mean, at magnetic signature. Yeah. It's all weird, right? Here's somebody looking at a sunrise or a sunset, and it's at almost due north. Now, that's probably not too far off right there. The question is, it's different in a different spot every day. Now, watch this one. This is a sunrise on July 6th, I believe, in Punta Lake Northwest in Alaska. You guys noticing anything there? Yeah? So here's what I really think this is. That's the real sun. That's the sun simulator. Sun simulator? Oh, what do you mean sun simulator? They can't simulate the sun. Really? Really, man? Whatever. These are interesting pictures. This one comes from Germany. This is actually my old stomping grounds. I got a guy over there that's in the U.S. Army at Kaiserslautern. I was in the Air Force at Ramstein, which wasn't too far away. So this is somewhere I've been before, and this is bizarre to see this in Germany. It just is. Look at this. This is creating its own light source. This is not a lens flare. A lens flare would not have its own reflection, would not have its own light. I suspect that that might be our UV sun. I could be wrong, but that's what I think it might be. And what are we looking at here? All right? What are we looking at? We're all seeing it. We all know the changes are coming. Right? And here's that on such, so you can see where that showed up. Boom. Right there. And then this is on a different camera. Boom. So it was on every camera. I'm still not to the mind blower yet. You guys ready for the mind blower? Not yet? Okay, well let me show you this one. This comes from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. My good friend Ken, who we're going to meet up here pretty soon because he's so close to me. He's been getting shot after shot of this. Am I showing this to scare you, do you think? Do you think I'm trying to frighten you by showing these things? No. No, I'm trying to give you the idea that we are eternal beings caught in a finite universe. And that all this stuff is meant to scare us. Listen to me now very carefully. Scare us into going back into the matrix. Because when we're scared, what we're going to do is we're going to look for a savior. And when the saviors that are available to us right now all want to put us back in the matrix. That's why Jesus didn't call us his Lord. He called us his friends. Friends are different than lords. Trust me on this. You really need a Lord? Do you really? Well, then you're going to end up back in their house. And their house might be this world itself. So it's very important that you start to understand your own sovereignty. And understand that the sovereignty and the freedom that you've been given in Christ, in that spirit of Christ, is yours. You don't have to serve anybody. You choose to serve from a place of sovereignty. That's the good way. That's the way that we want. That's the way that is the best for you. It's going to give you the most happiness, right? Is to serve from a place of knowing you're sovereign, which is, by the way, the definition of meekness. Meekness means you have power that you can take up, but you choose not to be in the benefit of someone else. Yeah, we're seeing these big clusters now, which remind me of the photographs we got from Toby. And then we were seeing this again. Still not to the mind blower yet. Still not to the mind blower photograph yet. And by the way, guys, all the stuff we've been talking about with Gary Parker and Divine Global Witness and Naughty Beaver and all that kind of stuff, all we're doing is connecting dots to show you the deception that they're going to use. They're going to say that they made us, which would be true. They did make us, but they made us illegally. This is an illegal manifestation of a bioform. We're not supposed to live and die. We're supposed to live. That's the eternal rule. What you're coming to, the big conflict that's happening isn't necessarily just between good and evil. That's trite. The conflict that's happening, or the big, call it struggle, is between the eternal perspective versus the finite one. And you have to start thinking from the eternal perspective and stop thinking from the finite perspective. That which you can see, feel, touch, taste, and know. Okay? The eternal perspective, nobody knows it all. But eternity, listen to me, that's why this all is happening. So that we have a chance to look up in the sky and say, things ain't what they've been told to me have been, and I need to get a different perspective. And there's also this thing called the eternal identity. There's an eternal identity that you have. It's critically important that we get in touch with the eternal as opposed to the finite. And so many things play themselves off as eternal that are not eternal at all. Right? Okay, here comes the mind blower now. This. That is a picture of an eclipse of our sun, my friends. This is the reason I know that is because I filmed the real eclipse that we had back in August of 2017. This picture was taken October 17th, 2017. The person that had it did not want to share it because it's too mind-blowing, okay? And we've been punked on this before, right? So I did my homework and checked into it. This is a real photograph. This is our sun being eclipsed, and it's being eclipsed all the time. Just watch Jeff P., okay? And then to kind of finish out the video, I want to show you this one. And you can see here, what we see here in this particular photograph, series of photographs, is we'll see the object that's visible, and then it goes behind that shield. And that's what these shields are placed to do. They're at key times where the sun angle would give you the best chance to see what's up there, but they block it. So now you have to ask yourself this question. Why would anybody want to hide any of this information from you? Why would they want to hide it from you? Because they're afraid you're going to panic? Oh, really? They don't seem too concerned about us panicking about Syrian missiles and nuclear war. I don't think they give a rat's ass if we panic or not. They're keeping this from you because they want to hold on to you to the very last minute so you have no time to choose and you end up choosing their prison again. And I'm here to tell you, you don't have to. You don't have to be here. You don't have to choose their prison. You don't have to stay in their prison. You have the right to leave it. Steve Olson, WSO.